If I were Chuck, I would be thinking, fuck, it's retiring age and I haven't even started my job yet. Been doing Charles a very long time now. I was thinking actually about an early strip I did. Here it is. This is a really ancient one. This is my old book, my oldest, an old one but a classic, from 1981. This is a strip I used to do in Time Out at the time. There's Charles and Polo, his carefree bachelor days. The thing about Charles is I hadn't quite got him then, because you develop a caricature, it takes a little while. There is a specific strip where I've sort of suddenly cracked Charles and it started to work. The whole talk of the day was Charles just needed to marry. He was in his 30s, he was getting on a bit. Charles, you ought to marry. And this is about Charles getting into asexual reproduction. You see, I managed to get the thing here. It's important. It's all important. This is the side of the mouth thing. You talk like that, and how can I say it? Charles always talks. He's very sort of like he's straining all the time, and he keeps his teeth clenched, and he's very like that. Once I had that. And again, then all the rest sort of falls into place because his nose is quite splendid. It's his haughty father. It's quite sort of slim, and then at the top it's crowned by these sort of eyebrows, which he's inherited his father's eyebrows very much, but he's also inherited his mother's quite close together eyes. It's interesting kind of heredity in cartoons like this, but the important part of the caricature for Charles is this mouth. That sort of that's the thing that defines Charles, and then. Of course, everybody knows Charles's crowning glory. His great big ears, and you can just go to town on the old ears. You can't look a gift horse in the mouth, and he's got jugs like that. He feels the burden of the world on his shoulders, and that's quite so sad in a way. But on the other hand, as soon as he opens his mouth and gets involved in politics, then he's in trouble. He's always sort of sounding off. He gets these intense rages about things like architecture, and it's one of the areas he should just lay off. You know, he's the only example of Charles's influence on architecture is the Sainsbury wing at the National Gallery, which is one of the most disgraceful and useless buildings. And he had a hand in that thing. He was instrumental in getting the modernistic design quashed. Now, a modern, spacious design would have been great in the National Gallery. The National Gallery needs a spacious wing, not a cramped mess like the Sainsbury wing. He's so hidebound, terribly, terribly hidebound. He's stuck in this. And there's this greenery as well. And you've got to be very careful with greenery because it's the dividing line between greenery and supreme fascistic elitism is very, very slender. On one level, you sort of think it might be laudable because at least he's taken an interest in the planet and the environment and all the rest of it. But on another level, it's really all about get off my land. How can you reconcile care for the environment with the fact that he owns huge tracts of it? That's the whole other essence of Charles that really gets on my tits. And it's about the monarchy as a sort of expression of the class system, which we still have in this country. Well, people think it's benign, but it's not. It's a noxious institution, the monarchy, and the aristocracy. It's all flummery and ceremonial. But what it represents is actually quite poisonous. Perhaps it's our national self-image is to sort of drain on it. It's a burden, I think. We have to bear the burden of this monarchy. All right, the monarchy has to bear the burden of being the monarch. He does look like he's in pain a lot of the time, Charles, yeah. The greatest thing he could do would be to abdicate and abolish his role. I mean, stand for election, by all means. He'd probably win, good luck to him. But we shouldn't have a sort of head of state that goes by heredity. It's just stupid. It perpetuates a whole lot of nasty crap about our society in Britain. The road to preferment is up the royal family's bottom kind of thing. And it's just depressing. He could stake a stand and he could, end the monarchy end this misery once for all. Remove his family from this terrible burden. Why doesn't he do it? Anyway.